Hello, FPL managers. You are welcome to another edition of the FPL Ambassador show. And I know we are all on FPL break and boys are resting and stuff like that. But Charlie, we think about FPL managers at any little opportunity. So at any little time, we are thinking about what content to give to managers. And we are glad to have today's show. In our midst is our usual guest for a while now in this new year, senior guy, top-notch FPL manager who is a national champion. He won FPL in the season. He won FPL in the season, I think 2016-17, I'm not either 16-17 or 15-16. So we have a national champion in our midst today. And I salute you, senior guy. What's up? How are things?
Can you hear me now?
Great. So Charlie, and then we have our top another top-notch FPL manager in himself, Precious Arku in our midst. Guys who have been following us all through last season, our first season and our second season know that when anytime Precious come on board, it means that he has something special for us. So Precious is the guy that we use to make our special FPL show. That is a show that talks about how to win your mini leagues and how to win in FPL. It's a special show. It's a classic show. So anytime you can go and watch it and then review yourself and see how things are going in FPL and then any other thing related to that as well. So Charlie, guys, I salute you once again to have you here, Charlie. In fact, before we move on, this show manager, is the show that we are trying to review. The World Cup just ended in December, and then since then we've had about just 5 game weeks, game week 17 to 21. So we are trying to in this FA Cup break, we are trying to review how FPL has been since the restart. But then before we move on, Charlie, guys, how was your game week 21? Senior guy, tell us what happened. Is it a green arrow or some minor red arrow?
I think I've been having some green arrows for some time now. All of,
GG.
all of a sudden, I decided not to captain
Haaland.
the Haaland, and it went heavily against me. So I'm back to the red arrow. It was quite unfortunate. Captained Hurricane. I thought comparing the Wolves against City and Spurs playing away to Fulham, I thought it would be a bit dicey for City against Wolves. If you really study their head to head, I think City have been finding it difficult getting a lot of goals against Wolves, especially when they play at them.
It's true.
So I. I thought that probably it would be a bit difficult one for City. Not knowing Haaland planned has it, he had its own agenda. So I don't know. And Kane too disappointed me. At least once Haaland scored 3 goals, I expected Kane to at least get me two, so that I'll not drop that low. But it didn't happen that way. It was quite unfortunate.
It's quite unfortunate. Okay, sure. I think concerning the Wolves game, after City dropping points, they needed a reaction, and that was what they expected, especially when they were playing like Had. So that was their home game, and then this even though Wolves are not conceding goals this season, as long as they needed a reaction, especially after that second half performance against Tottenham, you knew that City are going to start that thing. Sometimes they can go on that about 15 games. They win all the matches back, continuously. They're about to go on
Yeah.
that run. So I just felt that Haaland was going to do the job. Hema captain did the job. Charlie, Precious, what about you? How was your game week like?
Uh, there was a green arrow. Thanks to God. Um, I won't talk too much about my season, but that green arrow was much needed. Charlie, much
Sure.
needed. And of course, me, I captain Haaland because I
Okay,
like not to complicate things.
sure.
Because, like you said, City. One thing is if you watch them, um, for about 4, 5, 6 games in every season, they hit a low,
Yeah.
but then they always come out of the low and then they start stringing a series of wins. So me, I was just waiting for them to pick it up, and so that's why I captain Haaland. That there was no way I wouldn't captain Haaland. But I think my differential, that the person that made the difference was Nketsiah, because I've had him since the World Cup, after the resumption of the league after the World Cup, and he really came through for me. He really came out, because I don't have Saka, but he was able to match Saka and even outscore Saka. So he was the key player for me. That made my game week.
Spot on. Any thumbs up. Any Nketsiah, we salute you wherever you are. We salute you.
Your namesake.
Oh, Charlie, namesake. You know, I had people who have asked me that is any Nketsiah my brother. I said, please, I beg, he's not my brother. I won't come at you. I won't come at you for you to. Yes. So that's very true there, and we are looking to City to really do the very good job for us there, and so. That's with game week 21. Mine was also quite okay. Haaland doing the job very there for us. Okay, so let's move to main business. Game week 17 to 21. Okay, before we move in there, we are just reminding managers that Charlie, the league code is there. We are going to close this very soon. So if you have not joined, you better join. The code is there. The code is I2G9ZF. Join the code, and then you are also eligible for the 1,000 Ghana cedis as well. Now, this 1,000 Ghana cedis, you need to subscribe to the channel as well. And that 1,000 Ghana cedis, we have a very good sponsor who is sponsoring us with some money so that we can be able to give that money to give it to managers. So what I'll do is I'll play a video from our sponsor, and then we'll zoom into. Sorry, I think I pressed the wrong button. So Rowest Engineering Consultancy Services, they are supplying us with 500 Ghana cedis for that 1,000. Charlie, in fact, last week I was saying that it will be very nice that if we can get some sponsors of JC, so that we can even give it to our viewers. So if you sponsor us, we'll just play a video for you. We'll do adverts for you as well. So managers, anything you want to sponsor us, we are not looking for any big thing. Just something we all want to grow together as a community of sports guys and things related to that. So Rowest Engineering Services, they are into borehole mechanization and any other thing that is related there. Check out from them, and then you'll be sorted over there. So game week 17 to 21. Guy, any key thing you have picked up, or any teams that you think are worth noting after the World Cup break that managers should watch out for?
I think Newcastle, defensively, I would like to encourage managers to at least double up on the defense of Newcastle. I think after the break, they've had most of the clean sheets, if I'm not mistaken.
They've not considered any goal after the break.
Sure. So and anytime that they play, you are rest assured Trippier is giving you the bonus points. And so aside Trippier is a must-have. I think most of managers are having. So aside Trippier, you can either get and they don't change their defense. See, it's the same players that have been playing for all this while. So you know definitely there is no rotation in there. You can get either Boltzmann or Shah or Ben. Any of them could come in and it will be perfect. Offensively, they are not that clicking. I thought they would get in. They are having a lot of goals in them, but once Amaron started declining, I think the goals are not coming. So, and it's worried me because I also brought in Wilson. I expected them to be giving us a couple of points, but the goals have run dry, and it's unfortunate. So I think doubling up on Newcastle defense, and I think for now, that is the only
That's a
thing
that's a
I
very
think
key
that
point.
yes.
Sure. Precious. What about you?
Yeah,
What aside Newcastle, or you want to talk about Newcastle? Anything that
yeah.
is really worth looking at?
No, he's absolutely right. Newcastle defense. Even if we can have triple, triple Newcastle defense, if you can stomach it, because right now I think their attack is in a bit of a flux. They don't, especially in the on the front line. It's not. We
Sure.
don't know whether it's Isaac or Wilson
Wilson. Yeah. Sure.
that is the one leading the attack. So, but their defense for sure. And then my team. I think it's my team. It's very obvious. I think most people already know, but Manchester United, of course, they are they are a completely different team this season, and it's you can invest in their attack, you can invest in their midfield, you can invest in their defense. In fact, if you can have one from each, maybe not the strikers, because me I don't trust Vegas. I don't trust Vegas. I don't trust Vegas.
Where goes?
If you played FPL last year, you know that Vegas
Charlie,
is not
Charlie.
trustworthy. Yeah, but then their midfield like Rashford. I think most of us have had Rashford since the resumption of the league.
Yeah,
I plan on bringing in Bruno Fernandes next week.
yeah.
Right now, I have De Gea. I know a lot of people have Luke Shaw too. So invest in Manchester United, because you can see this season under their new management, they are completely different. They are a very competent team, very competent team.
Very competent. That's very true. So Newcastle and then United and then United, and I think Arsenal. You know, when Gabriel Jesus got injured, guys were a bit worried about Arsenal, whether the team will be able to take. And then Nketsiah just came in and he just slotted in. The team is playing with a very different mentality. I think that their very first game, I think, was against Palace or so. They considered a goal after the result. Were like, oh, Charlie, this is going to be the end of Arsenal because the dip is going to start. But the way they came back and won that game, and the games they've played to play against United, to go down in the first minutes. I mean, to go down by the first goal, come back and then have 2-1, and then when United goes 2-2, and like they knew they wanted to win, and they are playing on a very high level. And I know managers have most likely managers have had Martinelli for a very long while, and they are reluctant to sell him because they say they have value tied to him. I know somewhere around game week 17, game week 18, there was a call that Odegaard is better than Martinelli. Make the switch to Odegaard. Some FPL experts were saying that it's a sideways move, but one thing I've learned from last season was that last season and 2 seasons ago is that sometimes it's good to make the sideways move, because sometimes you will be. I think last season, when I was having Son, Kane was doing the job. It's from Kane to Son, then Kane will not do the job. So if this is the guy who is doing the job now, you switch. There's nothing wrong because you can see that Odegaard is now playing. Odegaard is now playing like Kevin De Bruyne. He's playing like Kevin De Bruyne and Mesut Ozil all together. So Odegaard is the guy, and then Saka is the guy. So even if you still want to keep Martinelli, you have to double up on Arsenal midfield. You double up by getting either Odegaard in addition to your Martinelli, Saka, or you go in attack to get Eddie Nketiah. So these are three themes that are really worth mentioning. There are some teams that they're also worth mentioning, but they are worth mentioning in a bad way. Mohamed Salah and his Liverpool, eh? Oh no. And this Chelsea defense, I don't know what is wrong with this Chelsea defense. but I think these are three main teams that, as of now, you should have at least multiple of these players in your team, multiple players from this team. So Newcastle, double defense, Man U, one attack and one in defense, two in attack, either midfield or attack. And then when it comes to Arsenal most likely 2 attack or 3 attack as well. Especially as they have some big game weeks coming there. So what are they aside these players that we've mentioned from the teams, are there any key defenders or keepers that you think that managers should watch out for? Guy.
Aside the ones that we all know, Henderson recently got injured, so he's the one that I thought of. Aside the gear and Coop, Henderson is the one that I thought of, but recently he's been injured. So I think, and who else? Those are the ones that you could really depend on
You
in
really
terms of
depend
keeping
on,
the
sure.
clean sheet. With the defenders, as my brother rightly said, you can invest in the defense of Manchester United. I think they've been really good after the World Cup. So personally, I have brought in both Wan-Bissaka and Luke Shaw, and I
Double
think
up. Hey, serious. This is such.
yes, United defense is will help in there. And we've spoken about Newcastle already, so those are basically the people that you need. Yeah, City defense you cannot trust them because Guardiola
Charlie,
is
Charlie,
going to
Charlie,
know
Pep,
the next
dear,
3 games.
Charlie.
So,
We will get to him.
We'll get to him. We'll get to him. So,
We'll get to
Precious,
him.
what about you? Defenders and keepers. Why are you
We'll
looking
get to
to?
him. I'm just looking at David. I was listening to a podcast the other day, and they mentioned David Raya.
Yeah.
That he has been actually he's currently the second highest scoring keeper.
Yeah.
The keeper for Brentford, and I'm currently looking at his stats, and even when he blanks, right? Even when
Charlie,
he gets save points. He gets save points. So and when he does keep a clean sheet, he gets bonus points. So he is. I don't have him, and I don't even know how popular he is. But I think
he's not popular.
He's only 4.72. So he's definitely somebody going under the radar. You know, I have David De Gea, and I mean United, their defense has done well, but I think if you are looking for a cheap keeper, David De Gea he's actually quite affordable.
4.9.
He's now 4.9, but I bought him at 4.8. Yeah. But David Raya, definitely a keeper to invest in if you are looking for a cheap keeper. That back last season, a few seasons ago, there were the likes of Emi Martinez,
sure,
or even Nick Pope, 2 years ago, where the cheap sub 5 billion keepers who will get save points and once in a while get clean sheet and bonus points. And I think for me, I don't know about you guys, but personally, that's a route
Charlie, let me tell you. Raya is my keeper for this season. I've had Raya since game week 1 to game week 16. Wow. I was actually planning on keeping him, but then after the World Cup, from game week 17 coming, Brentford's first 4 games were quite tricky. So the plan was that since Kepa had the double game week assured in game week, I think 17 or 19 or 20, then I was definitely going to get Kepa, and then afterwards I'll go back for Raya. Mm-hmm. And then Kepa too, the first 3 games he messed me up. So in fact, actually this week I was going to do a -4 to bring back my Raya. I was going to do it, and then I spoke to Alex. You know, Alex won the whole of Ghana last 2 years. Right. I spoke to Alex like about 30 minutes on the phone. We had to analyze whether to do the minus, because the point was if it wasn't a -4, he will let me. He will say I should get it. Yeah. But for a -4 for a goalkeeper, he said no. So we had to analyze all the next 4 games and see whether it was worth it or not. And one of the key points Alex said was that it's possible that even though Chelsea were playing Liverpool, my focus was not even this game week, but it was like the Chelsea defense is going to get a little bit better because the Chelsea attackers are going to come. And normally when your team is playing very good well in attack, it doesn't affect the defense. So I should just manage it at least and manage it. So Charlie, finally he convinced me and I didn't do the -4. Rowland said I should do a -4. Let me talk. Rowland said I should do a -4 because Rowland agreed to my point, because sometimes when I want to do a transfer and I delay, you see that other transfers will come and you never do that transfer.
Exactly.
And it will still be costing you. So sometimes I just do it once and for all and let me forget. Because goalkeepers, you hardly change them. So if I do it, I know the reason why I had Raya. I timed Raya from last season. You know, last season Brentford for the very first 10 games did very well, and then Raya had the injury. So when he had the injury, we didn't hear about him. He came back. He came for the last 4 games. So he was somebody that managers did not really think, because he wasn't all the way through the season. So me, I timed him, and it was a guy that I was really looking to. And Charlie, so if you have a goalkeeper, Charlie, buy him. Charlie, you should recommend it. He's been my goalkeeper. Although I don't have him now, I'll try and get him. But my guys have said not a -4. So that is it with the keepers there. So Raya is there, De Gea is there. These are the 2 keepers. The other ones are all Sankwas.
You don't like Kepa?
No. I said. I mentioned Kepa. Sorry. So Kepa, De Gea, and Raya. These are the 3 recommended goalkeepers that managers should look forward to as of now. For defenders, everybody has Kieran Trippier. You have Luke Shaw. So now the point is, which extra defenders should you have? So as Inagai said, double up on the Newcastle defense, or as for Man City, don't go there. Man City, don't go there. Charlie, Pep. You know, I bought Ake for that double game week, game week 19, the one that they played Man U and then Spurs. My initial transfer planner, which I had about 4 weeks ago, was that in that game week I would have rather bought a Newcastle defender. And listen, Newcastle defender that my plan was to buy than Ben. Ben has had 6 points in game week 19 and then 6 points in game week 20. Ake for double game week, Ronya 2. He had 2, and then this week Pep bench we had 1, so 3. So I was thinking that I wanted double game week. I've had 3 out of 3 points out of the 3 games City has played, and then the Newcastle defender has given 12 points. So the double Newcastle defense is something that managers should. And please note, now if you have Trippier, he's not giving you any extra boost. Even though he's giving you the points, he's not giving you the opportunity to rise up the rank. The only way you can rise up the rank is to double up in the defense.
If you have Trippier and you don't have another Newcastle defender, you're actually losing points. You are losing points every single time Trippier, every single time Newcastle gets a clean sheet. Because a lot of people have doubled the Newcastle defense. So.
Sure. They there. Oh, it's not enough to bargain. So these are the key players to watch. And then I think that a special mention should go to Bueno. That 3.9 Wolves defender is doing a very good job for boys. So at least as your favorite defender, at least you can have him once in a while. He just comes in because Wolves are not conceding goals that much. They don't score goals, so they won't concede at least. And then I want to say this: I picked up some planning going up towards game week 25. Guys who watch out for West Ham's defense. They have a lot of 4.0 defenders, and in game week 25, when there will be a blank game week, you might need those players in your team. So managers should just have an eye on those players there. I think we've covered extensively on the defenders and then the goalkeepers. So this is a little start about the SGI expected goals involvement. Kieran Trippier is doing the job. He leads it, Charlie, undisputed. He's on track to break Robertson's FPL record for a defender, most likely. I don't know. I don't know what to say. He's getting 2, 3 bonus points. Charlie, it's enough. You know the very funny thing about Trippier. You know, when we're doing our pre-game week 1 preseason shows, when I showed my team first, Trippier was my teim. Nobody was really considering Trippier.
That's true.
I had Trippier in my team from game week 1, and I had Bruno Guimaraes. And boys were asking the stream, what is this Newcastle boys? You haven't played to your team. No, and I was like, number 1, I realized Newcastle defense got better last season after they bought their January signings. And then Trippier, we know him from Tottenham Hotspur, is very good with as an attacking fullback, and then chance creation as well. And in fact, I want to give big shout outs to Late Riser of the FPL Wire. He made a post on Twitter. He tweeted and said something like, he said was 5.0 million for a James Ward-Prowse with clean sheets is enough to buy. Now, what is this James? So he's just saying that Trippier takes free kicks.
That's true.
And then he's giving you clean sheets at 5.0. It's a no-brainer. As soon as I saw that, I was very convinced about Trippier. And I said, this guy is going to see my team. And he has really done a very good job there. As for Arnold, we are waiting for him to bounce back. Actually, this is in the end. It's Charlie Trent. Oh, a whole Trent for Trent. The boys are dogging it for guy. What's your take on Trent? Oh, okay, guy is gone home. So, senior guy, I was asking, what's your take on Trent? Charlie, what has happened to Trent? What is happening to this guy?
I think the entire team performance is having a toll on him. You see, once the team is not performing, the individual performances are not coming. So it's the whole team that is not performing. So
Mhm. And
you
Trent is
cannot
not.
really blame him that much. The whole team itself is.
Okay. So, Precious, you want to say something? I think senior's connection is a little bit
Yeah. I
unstable.
wanted to say Trent is not a very good defender. I mean, the
We all
reason
know, as a defender.
was because of his attacking returns, and the clean sheets were a bonus. And the clean sheet, they were more assured in the previous season because everybody else, Van Dijk, whether it's Matip or Robertson on the Liverpool's defense, were very good. And the attack, the pressing of Liverpool was also very good. So there wasn't a lot of pressure on Trent to attend to his defensive duties. But it looks like this season, the rest of the team is not very good. So the defensive line seems more vulnerable, and there's more of a responsibility on him to play well in defense. He's not a very good defender. Nobody has
we all know this. It's
he's not
undisputed.
a very good defender. So I think it's also affecting his attacking game too. And as Godson said, the rest of the team around him is also not very good. So
Sure, that's true. Ivan Perisic is getting involved in things, but just that the Spurs are not keeping the clean sheet. They are conceding. I don't know what is wrong with Spurs. And then, in fact, the double up of the Newcastle, I prefer managers can go Shah, even though Shah is about 5 million, and the others are 4.5, 4.5. The reason being that I think Shah took a free kick recently and he hit the post, meaning that now he's sharing the free kick with Trippier.
right.
So if you want to be smart, you don't save money. Charlie, these guys down we don't have Cancelo, Salah, we don't have them. So we have Charlie. It's been a long while. People have money. People have like 6 million in the bank. Charlie, FPL father come on 6 million in the bank. Hey, oh Charlie, this is the game. I say. In fact, the one very good thing about we have money in the bank is that this year bench boosts will be rough.
Oh yeah,
because we'll be able to buy players we want, not those sunglasses.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yes. So enough of defenders and goalkeepers. So let's go to our midfielders. Riyad Mahrez, Charlie, senior guy, who has been the midfielder of choice for you, or who has really caught your attention since the restart?
It's obviously Rashford. I think it's just recently that Mahrez came in. Even Mahrez, you cannot be rest assured that he plays all the games. So it's definitely Rashford. If you want one that you can bank on all the time, it should be Rashford. We have Kevin De Bruyne and Grealish. You don't even try because once you get it at the back of your mind that Mahrez is on form and you definitely think he's going to do something. The next game is on the bench. I remember he did some with Foden some time back. It was very painful. The player is scoring. Like everything shows the player is in good form. That you can even captain him and he will return you points. You understand? But the next time you realize he's on the bench and he doesn't even play a minute. It's quite strange. So Bruno Fernandes. Bruno Fernandes is okay. But if you compare Bruno Fernandes to Rashford, I think Rashford is a bit ahead of him in terms of the midfield ranking. So it's for me, it's definitely Rashford, and I cannot even think of any other guy in the midfield aside.
Sure. True.
Wow.
Precious, for you.
For me, like I said, I brought in Rashford. Remember at the beginning of the season, I said Marcus Rashford. He looks different. He looks different before the first match. So I am glad that actually he's found a system and a manager who has been able to maximize his talent and also his dedication, because I believe he's worked hard to get to this point. So I've been very much impressed with Marcus Rashford. And looking at your list right now, of course, Mahrez and Bruno Fernandes. I actually thinking of bringing in Bruno Fernandes for the double game week, for the potential double game week, but we will discuss that later. But I'm very surprised that KDB is third on the list, because Charlie. So people were debating between KDB and Salah.
Yeah.
After the resumption of the league
after the World Cup.
But me, I went with Kevin De Bruyne because I like, we also saw what Liverpool was going through, and it didn't look like Salah would be able to be the one who will carry the team on his back. So I went with KDB, Kevin De Bruyne, because he's safe and sometimes we can explode. And as a Kevin De Bruyne owner, I'm surprised that he's third on the list, because Charlie, for the last game against Wolves, he didn't look like he hasn't looked sharp at all. He hasn't looked sharp at all. I don't know whether the thing that happened in the World Cup with the Belgian national team, the demons came with him. The demons came with him to Manchester, because he hasn't looked sharp at all. So I'm surprised he's there. But now that I think about it, he did have a lot of chances to put in great crosses, and also to score, especially in the first two games. So that is probably why he's third on the list, because he has been in good position. He's just that he didn't look sharp for the first 2 or 3 games.
Sure. That's right. Okay, you want to say something?
I think it's what he said. De Bruyne has not been that sharp, and you could see in the game sometimes he creates a couple of the chances. So it's okay, but per his price and bringing him in, I don't think it is worth it. You could have equally cheap midfielders that could come in and do the job for you. Brighton is in really good form offensively. So I think a couple of their midfielders, Mitoma, I think Mitoma is a little 4.5 or something, 4.9 thereabouts.
Mitoma is 5.1.
5.91 now. Then you could you have Solimatch. Solimatch is also around 5.2. So 5.2. So comparing those midfielders as their price to De Bruyne, who comes in and once a while he gives a couple of points and then drops off completely, it's not worth it. So that's it.
That's true. That's really true over there. So great. So so you mentioned some key players there in Solimatch and then Mitoma of the Brighton midfielders are really worth looking at. So aside having your let's say these guys, Bruno, Rashford, De Bruyne, Mahrez, and then these guys, the budget guys are also doing the job. So Brighton under De Zerbi are really playing attacking football. I remember before De Zerbi finally landed as of FPL Black Box did a very extensive take on De Zerbi, because he's a Brighton fan. So he went to do some research. He said actually De Zerbi is coming from the Italian Serie A and he plays a lot of attacking football. He plays fast. Potter will try and play beautiful football, but De Zerbi will play much of attacking football. So even though he will concede, he will score you. So I think that now after a while, that kind of football is really showing. And the Brighton assets are very good. In fact, they're very good to us as FA managers. If the Brighton blank is confirmed for 25, if it's confirmed for 25, then it means that when we are going later on the season, Brighton will have about 3 double game weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And in those double game weeks, it'll be very good for us because we can have Mitoma, we can have Match, and we can have Ferguson. On this list, they are all 5 points, 5 point something, 5 point something, 5 point something. You can triple up, and it's in fact, you should pay for it like that way. Because this is the idea, Charlie. Oh, yes. So, aside that, I think some players that midfielders were also doing the job quietly, which we are not noticing. Some of them, people that are doing the job are, I think we've not mentioned Odegaard. If we've mentioned him, I think we mentioned him earlier on, but Odegaard is really, really doing the job. Saka is really doing the job. So I think most managers already have them. And the guy who is like I said, I know who say when you buy, he won't do the job. When you don't have him do the job, is that boy called James Ward-Prowse. James Ward-Prowse, I don't know this guy. Charlie, if you don't know, then he will score goal this week. He will score goal next week. Then he will get a brace. Then when you buy him, think the guy get there, he will no, you know. Oh yes. So, aside James Ward, I think West Ham are looking at how the most wanted to be sacked, might want to now try grind the results there. So for West Ham, so Bowen or nobody else, but Bowen is 8 million. 8 million. That is the challenge. But this year we have money, so just monitor the West Ham and then let's see how that will go there. Any other player we think you have missed? Otherwise, they will move to the forwards there.
Yeah, I don't have any player, but just a last note. The thing about the midfielders, there's so many good options this year. So many good cheap options. So there's not a lot of wrong. There's not a lot of wrong answers in the midfield. So
sure.
Whatever you have, I was going to say whatever you can afford, but they are all cheap. So the ones that have good matches coming up, I would say, and they are in good form. Let's go for them because there's so many of them.
Okay. So, but the key thing I want to say that don't buy Salah. our own Mohamed Salah. Okay. So forwards, Charlie, senior guy. I know you talk about Haaland. For Haaland, everybody knows. He's blocking the FPL records. Hema captain Haaland. Okay, you can talk, senior, talk.
So Haaland, as we all know, we are not talking about Haaland. I think aside Haaland, he could bring in Kane. Even though Spurs are not playing that well, I think anytime they score, Kane manages to get himself involved in the goal. So Kane can be in there. And Tony, we spoke about Tony when we came back from the World Cup. I was thinking the ban was going to be anytime soon, and the ban never came. And he's played and he's continuing scoring, and we are expecting him to be banned, so we are not buying him, and he's still playing. So I don't know, Tony once he plays.
Tina, I think he's waiting for you to buy him, then they'll ban him.
Well, I remember we were talking about it and we were contemplating whether he's going to be banned, and I was not sure as to how many games he can play before he's been banned. But now we are all here, we are not hearing anything about the ban again, and he's delivering. So you could also consider him, Tony, and who else? I think for the forwards. Those are the only ones that
Those
I
are the
could
only
think
ones.
of. And ID Ketia has come into the picture now.
That is
Yes,
Arku's differential.
yes. ID Ketia has come into the picture now. I actually didn't trust him. I didn't think of him to be that goal poacher. I knew he could just be around the box and not score that number of goals. But for now, yeah, I think he's been getting himself involved in the goals, and it's a good thing. So it's 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 okay. I think it's Kane, Ivan Tony. I think those are the players I could think of for
Those are the
now.
key players then. Okay. Precious.
Mm.
Before I add a couple more strikers to the list, here's I'll call this my hot take.
Okay.
I think Nketsiah is better than as a striker He's better than Gabriel Jesus.
Oh, it's true. Spot on. Spot
He's
on.
better than
Spot on. As a
Gabriel.
pure striker in scoring goals, and Nketsiah is
Gabriel
better.
Jesus, he presses, he's tireless. I think he's a better presser than Nketsiah, because sometimes I think Nketsiah, even though he also puts in the effort, I think Jesus goes the extra step, and he's more silky on the ball. He's more smooth when he has the ball at his feet. I'm talking about Jesus, but there's something about converting chances that he's a little average for a striker for me.
Sure.
So much that Nketsiah is way better than him at that part of the game. And in terms of the other things that Jesus brings, I think the midfield has been able to pick it up. Has been able to pick up the slack in terms of the pressing and creating chances for Nketsiah to convert. So to me, honestly, if it's not Tony, because I think you should have Haaland, like you said,
Yeah.
and Kane.
Yeah.
Kane has. I can't remember the last time Kane blanked. The team is not very good.
Yeah.
Spurs are not good, but he always find a way to score. So you have Haaland and Kane. Your third striker, if it's not Tony, then you should probably go with Nketsiah. But if you want to be like out of the box, like you mentioned, Ferguson is an up and coming striker. In Brighton, they haven't like, if you watch the way they play,
Charlie.
smooth, quick passes, quick passes. It's actually very nice. It's actually very nice to watch. Like if you sit there and watch a full game, it's nice to the eye. And even back when they had Trossard as their false nine, they were still playing that style. The quick once they have the ball, they are very comfortable with possession, and they don't take their time. Quick passes. So I like a striker in that kind of system. So I would say Ferguson is if you want to go outside the box, I would go with Ferguson. He's like, what was it, 4.6 million or
Ferguson is, I think, 5 point something. Let me confirm.
It's 5 million.
Let me confirm it for that. It's 4.6.
Yeah, 4.6 million. Yeah, so he's very affordable. But we're in the season where Charlie, we have like 10 million on our bet in our bet. So we don't need to. But I'll ask you a question. So the Mitrovic, what's up?
How far now?
The Mitrovic, what's up?
How far now?
But at the beginning of the season, I said no, I don't trust him. So I think he had me, and I think he brought down some spirit on me to curse me, because I owned him for 2 weeks. He didn't do anything. He had a yellow and a blank. Then I benched him. Then he had a brace.
Chess.
Then they said he was hurt, so I benched him. But then he wasn't hurt, and he came on to play and he scored. So
Charlie.
I said, I'm going to stay away from Mitrovic. But so I think that has sort of soured my opinion of him. But I think he's finally reached a point where he's back to the Mitrovic I know.
Okay. Which kind? Is it the trolling one or the good one?
He's a trolling one now. Mitrovic is a troll. I don't trust. I never trusted him. I said I never trusted him, but he was scoring the point, so that's why I got him. But I'm glad I got rid of him when I did, even though he was scoring points when I didn't have him.
Okay.
I think Fulham is now, they are back to earth. It's not like they are not good. They are still pretty good. I'll still have Andreas Pereira as my fifth midfielder, but the talismanic nature of Mitrovic, I think it's lost its allure a bit for me in a way. So
Okay.
with the likes of the 4 or 5 forwards that we've mentioned, I think Mitrovic for now is outside of the box, and I think his head's right.
Yes, he had a knock, but we are in an FA Cup break, so
Yeah,
by the
that's
time
true.
FPL will resume next week, most likely he'll be fit. It was just a slide knock. Okay, so the take on Mitrovic. Now, I know boys were seeing a lot about Mitrovic. They were seeing a lot about Mitrovic. I seen a lot about Mitrovic. So what I did was I just did that was preseason. I just did how do you call it? Oh, a little research on Mitrovic, and I realized that number one, the style of play for this Fulham was different from the one they were playing under Scott Parker, and they were very attacking. That is why Mitrovic broke the championship record last season. So I remember there was a day I wrote a full post to tell managers that the Mitrovic, this is a different Mitrovic. I said the boys say, "Oh, they be out this," and I told the boys I share. Sometimes we all have been heads by Mitrovic because I remember 2 seasons ago, Charlie, we all bought Mitrovic. Mitrovic was in our team for the first. Fulham had the very easiest game, first 5 game weeks. Mitrovic scored like just 2 goals, or in just 5. Championship top scorer. But and this team is Marco Silva. Remember Marco Silva from his time at Watford when Richarlison was there. He's a strong attacking manager. Yes. So because he's a strong attacking manager, for him, he will always go full attack. He doesn't care about conceding goals. He knows that he's that kind of manager. So Mitrovic is a player that managers should really, really watch. So that's what I really said. I said about Mitrovic over there for managers. So I think that Mitrovic is worth holding, but not now because Fulham's games are quite tough from now to 25. But after game week 25, when Fulham are trying to bounce back better, we'll be able to see the good side of Mitrovic. And I also think that now the reason why Fulham are struggling is because most teams have seen how they play and they know how to play against them. When they came from the championship, people didn't know how they were playing. So Charlie, they were just hitting and scoring like that. But now I think teams have been able to see how their partners are able to adapt to that their players. Yes, so Renew Your Mind TV, Sam Kwak, yes, we spoke about the Brighton midfielders for a while. Yes, we've spoken about Solly March and Mitoma as well. Now we're on the attackers, we're talking about Ferguson there. So now I think we've spoken about the forwards. So I think my slide for my forwards ready. Let me put. I want to give a very interesting stat about Eddie Nketiah. Now, Eddie Nketiah has had 12 shots in the box. 12 shots in the box. 18 shots in the box, 10 shots on target, and non-penalty expected goal tally of 4.6. Bettered only by Erling Haaland since the Premier League started in game week 17. That is by Hibo FPL, a very important stat. And even in fact, Haaland has been an extra game than Eddie Nketiah. Charlie, Eddie Nketiah is the guy to buy. And those who are worried about Gabriel Jesus, Arteta has spoken. Arteta says that Jesus thinks that he wants to come. At the kind of injuries they just have, they have to manage him. They don't rush him back. So at least Eddie Nketiah is going to play double game when Arsenal are going to play Man City and then Aston Villa. I think Brentford. I think they will play Brentford and then City. They have a double game week. And this week in game week 22, Eddie Nketiah is going to play against Everton with their coach Lampard side. So Eddie Nketiah is owned by I think less than 7% of managers because we are all concerned about having Martinelli and Saka and then Odegaard. In fact, Eddie Nketiah makes the Arsenal triple up very important as of now. So if you have not bought Eddie Nketiah, think about how to buy him. At least if not for this game with 22, game with 23. Because
the matter
is that you want to enjoy him alone.
Don't buy him.
You want to enjoy him alone. The fact of the matter is that Arsenal are among the top 2 attacking teams in the league, along with City. So even when they face difficult teams, we were thinking that when Arsenal faced Tottenham, they faced United, the goals will not come. But actually, this Arsenal team is playing on pure Liverpool, the old Liverpool levels. When any team they meet, they score. With a Shemi will be. That is where Arsenal is as announced. Eddie Nketiah is a guy that man. So those who are selling Mitrovic, Eddie Nketiah is there. Those who are praying that Ivan Toney will be banned, Eddie Nketiah is. Okay, so my next question. I think Matthew is talking about Mahrez. Then he's talking about Mahrez really, really well. So the final question for our review so far: what premium combo should we have? How should we have, the premium midfielders and then attackers? The defenders, Cancelo is gone, Trent is gone, Robo is gone, James is gone. This season, yeah, all the premium defenders. Oh my, Sankwa, so no premium defender. So premium, how do you call it? Premium midfield attack combo. What do you think is the best combo that managers should look forward to going from Gameweek 22 onwards? Senior guy, what's your take?
A premium midfield now. I'll go in for Rashford. I think is the only one that we can think of. I don't even know whether we rate him as a premium player because I think
No. He's 7 point something. He's not really.
yeah,
He,
he's
he,
not
le-
really a premium player.
le-
So I don't know. As you said, for now the premium players are all dead wood, so we cannot even think of them anymore. Premium striker, okay, we can say Kane, Haaland, they are premium strikers. So Haaland is there. Haaland is the master. Everyone is having Haaland. So
is Kane a must-have?
Kane is, to me, I have him do, but I will not say he's a must-have. You could get players that will still equally give you the points that Kane will give you. See, Tottenham, they don't play that free flowing game. So they are not a team that you expect Kane to be scoring like a lot more goals. You understand? So even though he's going to score, I think they are
He's
equally.
he's he's doing one goal project.
Yes, they are equally good strikers that would come in and give you the points that King will give you. Like Eddie Nketiah, for instance. Eddie Nketiah, until Gabriel Jesus comes, is going to give us the points. He's not going. I personally, I don't think he's that clinical. He's clinical. The clinical touch of, say, let's say, Haaland and Kane. The way when they
Sure,
get the ball, they shoot you are definite that they are going to score. He's not having that touch, but yeah, I think he could still tap in a couple of goals and get you the points. So
sure, sure,
the
sure.
premium
So
the premium players are all dead aside Haaland. Both the
Haaland,
defenders, midfielders, they are all dead.
they are all dead good. Okay, Aku, what's your premium? What's your premium other combo?
Hmm.
What's your premium combo?
He's right. He's right that apart from Haaland, in a vacuum, nobody else is a must-have. But I would personally include Kane in my must-have, not because he's as good as Haaland, but here's the thing: one, there are cheaper strikers that could, right? The emphasis is on could match Kane point for point, but this season, like there are no premium options. So there's so much money on the bench. So what are you saving money for?
That's same available.
What are you saving the money for? What are you saving the money for? So like that's why personally I would include Kane as one of my premium must-haves because he is consistent. Do you know how important consistency is in FPL? What consistency does is it gives you what's that called? Oh, when your mind
Momentum.
is free, what's that called? Like
I show you to your point.
your mind is
Free
free.
mind. Okay.
It gives you a free mind to do sensible transfers because you know that whatever comes, the Kane, you are going to get 6 points at least. So you can
Okay.
do sensible transfers. You don't have to move him from striker to striker. Hey, is it going to be Mitrovic today or is it going to be 20? At least you know that Kane, he you have a peace of mind. That's what I want to say. You have a peace of mind to make sensible transfers elsewhere in your squad. So that's why personally, I would include Kane as one of my. So Kane and Haaland will be my premium combos, and then somebody said Nketsiah. Well, Nketsiah is a must-have for me, but he's not even a mid budget.
It's not even with brackets, Carbo. It's a budget.
He's a budget. He's a budget striker. But going into the next, if you want to add a premium player, because I have so much money on my bench, I don't even know what to do with it. I would alternate between Bruno and Kevin De Bruyne.
Okay.
Bruno for the next game week, because there's a good chance that they'll have a double in game week 22. Then you can switch from Bruno to Kevin De Bruyne in game week 23 because Man City also have a double. So you can have that pivot point of, okay, whoever the third premium is that has good fixtures or that is in good form, then you can add him to Haaland and Kane, because I believe that most people should have enough money on their in their bench in the bank in order to facilitate that, because also in the defense there's no premium there's no premium there's no premium option defense. Trippier is mid, unless you don't have him right now. I think he's priced as premium. If you didn't buy him earlier in the season, right now he's considered a premium, but I think most people should have him. So those are my premiums. So Haaland, Kane, then for the next 2 game weeks, Bruno, then after that Kevin De Bruyne, and then after game week 23, whoever is in form. Who knows?
Think about it.
Salah might hit form. Who knows? So
okay, sure. So I think I agree with the point there, Charlie. Now this season is better to go and buy a cheap player who will give you the point. You don't look. In fact, I think that FPL this year they should give managers money. If you have been able to keep about 2 million in your bank, they should give you $2,000. Because we have been able to efficiently utilize the resources. So that is the review of Gameweek 17-21. Managers, if you did not watch the beginning, please on the video and take your time and watch everything. We spoke extensively about all the players you need to really watch over there. I think that we mentioned about Ferguson. So Ferguson is 4 points. So I think aside Ferguson, I don't think there is any other player we haven't mentioned there. Yes, I know people are saying Watkins is trying to pick up form, and then there is this guy of Leeds called Nocto or whatever 5.0.
Probably.
Yes. So these are guys to just be watching them and monitoring them to see how things will go there. But aside that, these are key players that manage to. Okay, great. So now the game of 22. In fact, not everybody knows that the game of 22 is a provisional double. So if Leeds and Man U their FA Cup game this weekend, none of them draws, because if one of them draws, that double game week is out. So they can decide to win or lose. In fact, I want them to lose. Because when you are winning power, you know that the guy is winning power, then they'll go and draw the but they should lose. They will say. Yes, so that is it there. But game week 23, we are very assured the City double, City and the Arsenal double up is really confirmed. So that one is confirmed there. Now, based on the result of this game week 25, this blank game week 35, based on the result of blank game week 35, and because of the FA Cup game, there might be blank game week 25. So because if Man U and then Newcastle, no, not the FA Cup, the Carabao game, the Carabao Cup, which what do you call it? Oh, both Man U and Newcastle are all leading their legs. The second leg, if they all qualify, then it means that then their game 25 game would be a blank, which would go with their opponents, which is Brentford and then Brighton. So managers should just watch out for that. It means that in your plan of game week from game week 22 to 25, be thinking about how you manage it, whether you play your free hit in 25, if you have so many Man U, Newcastle, and then Brighton guys, or you decide that you try and have some more bench players, and then maybe bank your transfer in maybe game week 24, and then in 25 you have a double transfer, and then you can make some changes to your team as well. So, but all of these things, as we go forward, we'll talk about extending on the FPL Ambassador show. So that is very, very important there for managers. Is there anything you think I haven't said about this one, or we should tell you? So yes, so the ticker has Arsenal, Leeds, Man City, Man U, and Brighton. Are very good. So these are 5 teams that you should look out for. They have very, very good fixtures to start then. Okay, now key point we want to say: Game22 ahead of us. Please, I beg you, in the name of God, don't make any transfer. They are coming to play FA Cup games. So those of you are making the, I don't know what. Actually, FPL is resuming next week Friday. Oh. And assuming you buy a player and gets injured, that thing is very painful. Though. So please, we beg you. Those of you are pressing the button. Now this year we have money in the bank. Just keep your players there. Don't make any transfer. But then, since I have two top managers here, I'll ask the question: triple captain Rashford game week 22. If it is confirmed, people are thinking about triple captain Rashford. Is Rashford triple captain worth it if he's going to play Palace and Leeds? Guys, what's your take on that? Senior guy.
Okay, the form that he's in, and having a double game week, I think it is worth it. Personally, I won't go for it now, but if you ask me, I would say it is worth it because they are playing Palace at home. That is if it is confirmed. They will be playing Palace at home and Leeds at home as well. So looking at the form that United is in, the momentum that they are building, and the goals that is coming in for Rashford, I think tripling triple captaining him is is going to be worth it. That is if you should do that now. But I would say I think I would have I would add that there are many more games to come. So
Sure.
it is too early to be playing your triple captain now. So even though it is worth it, I would say it is too early.
Precious.
Okay. In a vacuum, in a
Okay.
vacuum, what's Palace at home and Leeds at home? God, like easy money for a player like Rashford. That's in good form, easy money. But we don't play FPL in a vacuum. Um, there's a reason why a lot of seasoned managers wait till from game week 30 onwards to play their triple captain. And it's usually because it's not because the games there in the games around those times are necessarily better, even though there are double game weeks. There's definitely going to be double game weeks around that time. But it's because if you play your triple captain right now and you get the point, what's going to happen is around game week 30, 32, between 30 and 38, almost half the managers are still going to have their triple captainship. And they are going to play it. And they are going to score plenty points. And they are going to be there. You don't have a triple captain. The game's not going to be fun for you. So that is why I always reserve my most of my chips till closer to the end of the game week. And that also allows me to, once again, look at my position in the mini league. And if I need to, if I'm not in a good position, maybe the triple captain or whatever chip will help me, climb to the top of the mini league. So, yeah, you could play the triple captain right now, but I would only recommend it personally if you are so much behind, like like the number of points it's so much behind that you need something to jolt your season back into action to give your season a new legs, right? Then I'll recommend it. But if you are already doing fine, you don't need to waste um to use a triple captain right now. And I don't think Leeds is as bad as a defensive side as they used to be previously, because they have had um pretty good defensive record in recent times.
Okay. Okay. So that said, the other decision to triple captain Rashford. So I think you've made the point very clear. It's better to save it a little bit later. But then there's a question from Matthew G. You answer this question as well. But then let me give the other side of the other side of the question. as to why to triple captain now. Sometimes we reserve the triple captain, then double game week will come, then they'll bench your player one game. Because City will be playing Champions League semi-final, and he'll bench Haaland one of the games and play one. It's more like you get Haaland for just the one game instead of the multiple games you're expecting. So and it's sometimes it gets more. You know, about 3-4 seasons ago, when you reach that 34, the guys play all the games. But I don't know why now. When you play your triple captain, then they'll bench the guy one game. I'm like, how much is this? Then I should have played him when he was playing one game. So I said everything. I think that because Champions League is not yet in, if you're not triple captaining Rashford now, you can triple captain Haaland next week, 23. But then he's playing Aston Villa at home, and then the Arsenal game is more like it's not a certain game that he will score, but at least Aston Villa he will score. But then Aston Villa's defense is also relatively better now, so it's a challenge. Now the other challenge is that sometimes around the game week 34 going, some of the weeks might be a better week to play a bench boost or a few hits than a triple captain. But as you have said, there are going to be more and more opportunities to play. But somebody said that when you always strike the iron when it is hot. So if you think that Rashford's form is such that he can guarantee you at least 2 goals and 1 assist in these 2 games, I say hit the triple captain button, because don't be surprised that around 34 when you captain Haaland, Pep will withdraw him at 60 minutes for the first game because Champions League on a Champions League game. Then the next one, Pep will not play him at all.
That's
so interesting. So we have a question. We have a question here. So a guy is asking. So I just give you answer. This one no explanation. Nketsiah, Tony, and Mitrovic, who is better to pair with Haaland and Kane? This one, think through. Who is the guy? Sinaga guy. Nketsiah, Tony, and Mitrovic. The one to add to Tony, Kane and Haaland. Who? Tony. Arku.
Does it? Can I? No explanation.
Okay, you can explain. What have you to explain?
If you've already tripled up in Arsenal, in the midfield and defense, then Tony. But
Okay.
if you have a spare spot and you have one of Odegaard and Saka already, then Nketsiah.
Okay. Senior guy, you want to explain your own, or it's okay?
Tony is
The talisman of his team.
clinical than Nketsiah. I must put it that way. Is clinical than Nketsiah, so I'll go for Tony.
Okay. So it's a 50-50. So Martin's G is a 50-50. I think we can check Tony's fixtures. Tony's fixtures going forward. Tony is facing he faces Southampton, Arsenal, Crystal Palace, Man U for the next 4 games. So Southampton, Arsenal, Crystal Palace, Man U. So let's say 3 out of 4 very good games. Nketsiah is facing Everton, Brentford, City, Aston Villa, Leicester. So he has 4 out of 5 because he has a double game week. So maybe because of the double game week, you can necessarily decide to go Nketsiah. But then Nketsiah and Tony are all wet. And the only good thing about Tony is that when Tony scores, he normally gets the clean sheets. And the
bonus point, yeah.
And then Tony a good keeper. Oh, yes. So please don't buy Mitrovic. Mitrovic is a troll. He's a troll. He's got a yellow card. A yellow card striker. Sinaga guys, you know, and the FPL Ambassadors show, we have our class with since our very first show. He's called Matthews GH. Every week he's with us. And in fact, Matthews GH, Charlie, I owe you a special present. Before the season ends, I'll give you a special present for that. Even when he misses it, he goes to watch the video, he comments about it, almost everything. So he's and one thing is, he said he's so happy that we are making this show because he's helping you to understand FPL better and better. So Sinagaga, this is what happened. You know, in game week 20, this game with 20 when the Haaland one, you said that they shouldn't talk about not triple captain Haaland. And you know what he did? He said because you said that he shouldn't triple captain Haaland, he wanted to go against your advice and show you that you were wrong. And he wanted to triple captain Haaland. All I want to say is that he says that your triple captain advice really really work. And I always tell guys, Charlie, we don't bring common guys on our show. We are bringing seasoned FPL managers. Guy is a national champion. Me myself, guy, I'm also a national champion. Charlie, I don't talk about it. It's not about this. It's about. Charlie, we are bringing top. Arku is Precious is a serious 3-time winner of an engineer's FPL. And engineers are very, very sharp thinkers. So for you to win, in fact, he has won it 4 times, not even 3 or 4. And that league, I have won it by Kope. Even me, I've won that league 1. And Precious has won that league 3 times, in fact 4. Then it means that Charlie, we don't bring small boys. I'm sure very soon you will see Alex back joining us. So Charlie, the advice I always say, watch. The decision to do the FPL Ambassadors show was because when I won the Ghana League and everything, the GMABC, the money and everything, boys were like, Charlie, we have to share that advice. And this year, when they did the FPL ranking of countries, Ghana was among the top 15 countries of managers playing worldwide, playing FPL worldwide. Top 15 managers play worldwide. But then, I think 2 years ago, I saw the top. That is population wise, but top wise, the top 10, there was only Egypt in it. In Africa. I don't know whether the dynamics are changed as now. What I want is to have is that we will have the time where I want to mention top 10 best FPL countries in the world. Performance wise, you have Ghana there because you have top managers. We are a footballing nation, so we everything we are trying to do the very best there. And then I know one of these days, the guy who will win FPL will be a Ghanaian. Hey. And I'll be so happy. I'll be so happy that Charlie will be making us Aha. So Charlie, that is it there. So Charlie, we are bringing you the very best. We are season manager. This is my 8th season playing FPL. Precious, I think this is your 9th season playing FPL. Guy, this is your 10th or 11th or what? The experience you bring on the show is very top. And in fact, watch, even Alex, who won Ghana 2 years ago, Alex has played FPL for just 3 seasons. I think this is his 4th season. In his first 3 seasons, Alex has been in the top 10K once, top 20K, another different one. So it's not like, Charlie, the guys we are bringing are very, and in fact, I'm trying to bring Kwame Yanda. Kwame Yanda is, the year I won FPL, Kwame Yanda was the guy who was battling with me for number 1. That year I battled with him until I won. And Yanda came to give me some Facebook insults. I didn't mind him, but now we are friends. And by one of these days, I'll bring him on. I'll bring him on, and he's ready. In fact, this year he's doing very well. He says that he wants to wait and when he tops Ghana before he will come. But Charlie, come here, I'm giving you a shout out. Charlie, get a brush. We need you here. Come and give the tips to boys as well. So Charlie, thank you very, 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 very much, senior guy, and then Precious for us. Charlie, the code is here. Charlie, 1,000. Last year we give it to Neil Sebanaman. Why just Sikane? Why enjoy Sikano? I'm sure one of these days we might need to come and tell guys job about how he spent his money. So senior guy is in our midst today. His full name is Goshen Amel. I call him senior guy. That's how I got to know him. And then Precious is here. One of these days, Alex will surely join us. Rowland was able to join us today because of work. Charlie, Rowland's work is now a little bit.
Roland, his season, Charlie, this year he's not having a small season though. Hey,
Charlie, yes. Charlie, Rowland is on form. You know the very funny thing. Last week we had 4 managers. When we all showed our rank, we were in the millions and then hundreds of thousands. Rowland was around 100,000. Charlie, Rowland, we were around 800,000. Back. So Rowland. Arku has thrown you a challenge. He said he's catching up to you. So get ready. So that is it there. So thank you so very much, managers, and then thank you, Precious. Thank you, senior guy, for always being here to share with money. I know it's a pleasure for you to be here, but we are very, very grateful to have you here on our show as well. Charlie, you call 1 hour 15 minutes. I never knew you had gone that far. So managers, take your time, watch it, and in fact, share it to you. Some of you are when you get that, instead of you to share for your friends to know so that we all do well, you are keeping the thing and you're not letting us go. So we have been around 300 subscribers. You're not great. We have to cross 2,000 this year. Moon share the boys who say, yeah, the power. No moon jai side, nobody Asha Mohuna, Munkwara, boy, enjoy that. Moving with the leagues, Charlie. So, seniors, thank you very much. So, next week we'll have a proper preview for Gameweek, but this is a review. So, at any point in time, managers come and watch it because upon I share, no, you and them account. So, managers, thank you. So, meet very, very soon again, and all the best to our players. No, none of our players should get injured. Epic Cup will be Any final words?
Wait till the FA Cup matches are over before you do a transfer. That's all I would say.
Senior guy.
Yes, no transfers for now. Just wait till the FA Cup is over.
Okay. I'm repeating, senior guy says that the triple captain Rashford, don't do it now. It can happen in the future.
Oh, by the way.
But me, I say that when the metal is hot, that is when you strike it. He might never get Rashford up home again in his life. So maybe this might be the time to continue. First, you want to say something?
I just want to say that doesn't mean you can't captain him. You can still captain him. Just personally, if you want to triple captain him, fine. But you can still captain him. Just if you're going to triple captain him, that's a big risk.
In fact, let me say something. I think that I also need to make a clarification on the Haaland benching for further times in the season. I think this year, the way City and Arsenal are going, if the race is going to continue like this, Haaland might never be benched again. He might have to play consistently because they need to get the pace on him. So as I said, it's better to reserve. You actually need to have 16 more game weeks. So decide. If you are very, very low and you want to rise, you can use it. But if you are very high and manageable, reserve it. There might be a better option for it. Managers, I'm giving a question for all FPL managers. Would you want to captain Haaland against Bournemouth in a single game week, or you want to captain Haaland against Aston Villa and Arsenal in a double game week? Think about it. Food for thought. I'll pick up my answer, God willing, next week. All the best. Then have a good night and a good afternoon, a good morning, wherever you are. Managers, thank you. We'll meet going next week, Thursday. Like and subscribe to the video as well for us. Bye, seniors. Bye.
Bye.